Hey Freedom Grillers, if you've been following along, the last couple of videos we've been talking about the ACSS optics, and in this video we're going to cover the difference between the 507C ACSS and the 507K ACSS. And as a reminder, everything on today's video can be found on freedomgorilla.com at the best price with free shipping, and there will be a link in the description. So before we even dive into the similarities and differences, the most important thing to know is that these have a different footprint. So you need to know what optics cut your pistol slide has. If you have a full size or compact, it could be an RMR footprint, and if you have a subcompact or micro, it's likely the K series footprint, or you'll need some type of adapter plate or screws. All the fitment information we have fitment guides for, and again, that'll be in the description. Now, if you're wondering why compare these two if they're different footprints, that's because on some slides, you're able to install either one of these, but you might need an adapter plate for the K series if you have an RMR footprint. All right, so I'm gonna start with similarities first. So they both have shake awake. So you pick up the optic and it'll turn on. They are both made out of 775 T6 aluminum. Both have an IP67 waterproof rating. They both have a side removable battery there, and both of them are available in red or green reticles. Both of them are from Primary Arms to claim the warranty. So if you do have any warranty issues, you will have to hit up Primary Arms. Slightly different from how you claim the warranty from other Holosun products. Primary Arms is absolutely fantastic to work with. If you have any issues at all, they'll take care of you. So I'm going to start with differences, and the first difference is the 507C ACSS has a solar panel. This actually gives it a solar failsafe option, and essentially what that means is if this battery dies while the optic is in use, this solar panel will take over as a battery source. So essentially it's a second battery source to power the optic, and because of that, it also gives this optic an auto mode, where it'll adjust the brightness depending on the brightness of the outside. The 507K ACSS does not have a solar panel, which means it does not have solar failsafe and does not have an auto mode. This only has a manual mode. We're able to control the reticle brightness based on the plus or minus buttons. The next major difference is the size. Now, I touched on this slightly when we were talking about the overall footprint of the two, and the 507C is larger. It's obviously meant for full size and compact, whereas the 507K is meant for subcompact and micro. But overall, the 507C, it has a larger window, it's a larger width. Overall, just everything is larger on this optic. All right, and now for probably the most important difference, it's literally why you would choose this, is the reticle. So although both of them are using the ACSS reticle from Primary Arms, they are two different reticles, and both of them have specific purposes. So the 507K has a 230 dotted MOA outer ring with a 3 MOA dot. The 507C ACSS has a 250 MOA outer ring and a 10 MOA chevron. So although both the 230 MOA dotted outer ring and the 250 circle MOA outer ring do act like aim assists, they just look different, so it's something to take note of. And by aim assist, what I'm talking about is essentially the dot or chevron is always going to be in the middle of the screen without being able to see that either dotted outer ring or the complete circle. So if you do see any part of those circle for either the K or the C ACSS, that's telling you where you have to adjust your aim. All right, so this is the chevron, and if I pull it out closer, it'll just get blurry because of the camera. Now the chevron is actually a really cool reticle. It's the most precise reticle that's available in any of these red dots, and what I find really cool about it is if you're using a 9mm, the top of the chevron is zeroed for 25 yards. The bottom of the chevron, like at the very bottom of the tip, is zeroed for 50 yards, and then the bottom of the chevron itself is zeroed for 100 yards. So you're able to get really precise measurements. And here's what the 507K ACSS looks like. Again, it's at 230 MOA outer ring and 3 MOA dot. And then here's a side-by-side comparison of the two. The next difference is battery life. Now the 507C ACSS has a battery life of 10,000 hours to 25,000 hours. If you leave the outer ring on with the chevron, it's 10,000 hours. Whereas the 507K ACSS has a battery life of 25,000 hours. If you leave just the dot on, that's what takes it to the 50,000 hours. And the last difference is the 507K version is just slightly more expensive than the 507C version. It's like $10 more. So that's the similarities and differences. Now, which one's better and which one should you get? The first thing, again, that you have to know is what your slide is cut for. If it has an RMR cut, it could take either one of these with an adapter plate. You could have the K. If you only have a K series, there's no RMR adapter plate that I know of, so the 507C won't do you any good. With that aside, it really comes down to the use case. So if you are doing like a concealed carry, the 507K ACSS is more narrow. It won't overhang on the slide. So that'll be like my choice. If you're doing competition shooting, then the 507C with the ACSS chevron is a very nice choice. With that said, both of these are great. You can't go wrong with either. I really think it comes down to personal preference, which is something that we reference a lot on this channel. So we hope you found this information useful. Again, both of these are found at freedomgorilla.com at the best price with free shipping, and we'll see you on the next video.